They say the best way to really literally improve your life is through personal development. The best way to improve your life is obviously through personal development. And a lot of people learn this, whether it be through video content, whether it be looking at different things on Instagram or looking at things on TikTok or looking at things on YouTube or going to live events. Always the best way to really, really improve yourself from the inside out is to what? To learn, to indulge yourself in more learning, more learning, more learning, more learning, more learning. So you can find your pitfalls, you can identify those things and do everything in your power to work on them in a very, very great way. And today I'm going to talk about one of the best books that could literally change your life. Pay very, very close attention.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now, customers are the backbone of any and all businesses. If you want to get more customers, we've got to seduce you all.
You've got to progress. If you want to attract bigger people in your life, then you've got to become a bigger person. You've got to become better at your skill sets. You've got to immerse yourself into personal development. You've got to find a mentor. You've got to find one or two people that have the results that you want.
So if you're not where you want to be in life right now, what do you do? What do? You do everything in your power to strive to be better. If we're not learning, if we're not growing, we're dying. If we're not identifying the things that got us to where we are today, we're dying. If we're not going and looking back into life, whether it be some things that we grew up that trigger us when we were younger that now we're just now realizing it, whether it's some things that's triggering us right now that we're just now realizing it. If we don't go into that and figure out why those things are happening, then all we do is do what? We repeat the cycle over and over and over again. And the cycle is never broken. It's never broken, okay? It finds a way to come back and it creates a loop. It creates a loop. And that loop is something that our brain actually looks for, because that loop feeds us that dopamine fix that we need. And as soon as that trigger happens, we revert back to our old ways, and then we repeat this loop over and over and over. So when we look back and say, what created the loop? How can I break the actual loop? And then what can I do moving forward that cannot allow that loop to constantly be embedded in my subconscious mind? Because a lot of times these things that we do, we're not doing them consciously. We're doing them subconsciously. Ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you that throughout my life, there's things that I regret. There's things that I have done that I literally regret, that I look back at and I say, man, I really wish I didn't had done that. I really wish I didn't do that. But then I have to step back and say, what created it? Why did I do that? Why did I act that way? And what can I do to not create that issue again moving forward? None of us can go back in the hands of time and erase yesterday. We can't go back in the hands of time and erase yesterday. But what we can do is identify what we did on yesterday. We can identify what we did on last week. We can identify what we did last month. We can identify what we did last year. We can identify these things that put us in a position to make us react that specific way and then do something about it so it doesn't happen again. Every Monday, I conduct my TTO team training, and I conduct it for quite a few people. And then every Tuesday or Wednesday, we push that training out to my team, and about an hour ago, I got a message from one of my reps that really, really warmed my heart, that reminded me why I do what I do, that reminded me why I have to stay engaged, why I have to stay in the game. And when you start to really identify your purpose and you keep going after that purpose, amazing things happen because you're actually doing what God put you here to do. All of us have a purpose, right? Now, I feel like there's so many challenges that have happened inside of my life that it's only fair to share some of those challenges and to live life out loud and to live it in a way that I can look at some of those things and then say, maybe it could help somebody else. And I can tell you years ago, maybe when I was 20, 21 years old, I was given this book. I was given this book called The Greatest Secret in the World. And as you can see, it's pretty beat up because it's been with me for a long time. It's probably the best $7 that you will ever spend. And every couple of years, I break out this book and I start these scrolls over again. And there are days that I forget my scrolls because I'm imperfect like everyone else. There's days that I might not do the scroll when I first wake up or in the afternoon or do it out loud in the evening as well, because we're all imperfect, right? But yesterday, I was looking at a video. And a young lady in the video, she broke down a specific scroll in The Greatest Secret in the World. And even though I read this scroll years ago, it's something literally about when the student is ready, the teacher arrives. It's something about God will do certain things and put it on your lap, put it on your heart, because maybe at that time, it's time for you to identify. Maybe at that time, you will absorb it a certain way. Every week when I do my training, we start our training off with The Greatest Secret in the World. We start our training off every single week going through this book. And right now we're on scroll number 5 right now, going through it with my team because it takes 30 days to go through a scroll. So we're in scroll number 5. We're 5 months in. But because of this video yesterday, I told everybody why, after we read scroll number 5, I said, we actually got to go into scroll number 6 really quickly. And I don't want everybody to skip it. I don't want you to skip and continue to just go to the scroll. I don't want you to skip it. But what I do want you to do is read the scroll alongside of me. Read the scroll alongside of me because it hit my heart and it hit it at the right time. And I want to share it with each and every one of you because I think it might help somebody that's out there. Whether it's 1, whether it's 2, whether it's 5, whether it's 10, whether it's any of the people that are here live, whether it's any of the people that might check out this recording. Listen very, very closely to the scroll. It is so freaking powerful. And I will admit, after I read it again, after looking at that video, I was like, I needed the scroll last week. I really needed the scroll last week. But something about God downloading something in my mind saying, look at this. And it's not by accident. It's not by accident that video popped up. It's not by accident I already had this book handy. It's not by accident the video popped up on a Monday when every Monday night I review this with my team. And it's not by accident that I'm reading it to you today. The scroll mark 6. Today, I will be master of my emotions. The tides advance, the tides recede. Winter goes and summer comes. Summer wanes and the cold increases. The sun rises, the sun sets. The moon is full, the moon is black. The birds arrive, the birds depart. Flowers bloom, flowers fade. Seeds are sown, harvests are reaped. All nature is a circle of moods, and I am part of nature. And so, like the tides, my moods will rise, my moods will fall. Today, I will be master of my emotions. It's one of nature's tricks, little understood, that each day I awaken with moods that have changed from yesterday. Yesterday's joy will become today's sadness. Yet today's sadness will grow into tomorrow's joy. Inside me is a wheel, constantly turning from sadness to joy, from exaltation to depression, from happiness to melancholy. Like the flowers, today's full bloom of joy will fade and wither into despondency. Yet I will remember that as today's dead flower carries the seed of tomorrow's bloom, so too does today's sadness carry the seed of tomorrow's joy. Today, I will be master of my emotions. And how will I master these emotions so that each day will be productive? For unless my mood is right, the day will be a failure. Trees and plants depend on the weather to flourish, but I make my own weather. Yea, I transport it with me. If I bring rain and gloom and darkness and pessimism to my customers, then they will react with rain and gloom and darkness and pessimism, and they will purchase not. If I bring my joy and enthusiasm and brightness and laughter to my customers, they will react with joy and enthusiasm and brightness and laughter, and my weather will produce a harvest of sales and granary of gold for me. Today, I will be master of my emotions. And how will I master so that every day is a happy day and a productive day? How will I learn the secret of the ages? Weak is who permits his thoughts to control his actions. Strong is who forces his actions to control his thoughts. I want to read that again because that is so, so powerful. Weak is he who permits his thoughts to control his actions. Strong is he who forces his actions to control his thoughts. Each day when I awake, I will follow this plan of battle before I'm captured by the forces of sadness, self-pity, and failure. If I feel depressed, I will sing. If I feel sad, I will laugh. If I feel ill, I will double my labor. If I feel fear, I will plunge ahead. If I feel inferior, I will wear new garments. If I feel uncertain, I will raise my voice. If I feel poverty, I will think of wealth to come. If I feel incompetent, I will remember past success. If I feel insignificant, I will remember my goals. Today, I will be master of my emotions. Henceforth, I will know that only those with inferior ability can always be at their best, and I am not inferior. There will be days when I must constantly struggle against forces which will tear me down. Those such as despair and sadness are simple to recognize, but there are others which approach with a smile and a hand of friendship, and they can also destroy me. Against them too, I must never relinquish control. If I become overconfident, I will recall my failures. If I overindulge, I will think of past hungers. If I feel complacency, I will remember my competition. If I enjoy moments of greatness, I will remember moments of shame. If I feel all powerful, I will try to stop the wind. If I attain great wealth, I will remember one unfed mouth. If I become overly proud, I will remember a moment of weakness. If I feel my skill is unmatched, I will look at the stars. Today, I will be master of my emotions. And with this new knowledge, I will also understand and recognize the moods of on whom I call. I will make allowances for his anger and irritation of today, for he knows not the secret of controlling his mind. I can withstand his arrows and insults for now. I know that tomorrow he will change and be a joy to approach. No longer will I judge a man on one meeting. No longer will I fail a call again tomorrow on he who meets me with hate today. This day he will not buy gold chariots for a penny, yet tomorrow he will exchange his home for a great tree. My knowledge of the secret will be my key to great wealth. Today I will master my emotions. Henceforth I will recognize and identify the mystery of moods in all mankind. And in me, from this moment, I am prepared to control whatever personality awakes in me each day. I will master my moods through positive action, and when I master my moods, I will control my destiny. Today, I control my destiny, and my destiny is to become the greatest salesman in the world. I will become master of myself. I will become great. I want you all to think about something as life moves very, very fast around us. No matter what happens in our world, life continues to move. And a lot of times as we move throughout life, there's things that we do that our emotions help us make certain decisions, whether they're good or bad. And sometimes those emotions can create great despair within people. It can create despair in a soul. It can create despair in a heart. Trust me, I know this personally from doing things myself that were unfair to others. On the same token, I can say this loudly and proudly. We all go through these times and we all go through these moments. But one thing that we all must understand is that once we start to learn to master it, once we start to learn to grasp it, once we start to learn that, you know what, I have to master this. This is something that I must master. This is not something that I can be good at. This is not something that I can be mediocre at. This is something that I unequivocally must be great at. See, we talk all the time about letting your highs be low and letting your lows be high, moving at an even keel. And sometimes we lose that. Sometimes we lose that because of being imperfect. We lose that because we all go through things in this world called life. And sometimes those emotions can grab us. But when you absorb something like this, right, and you go through it daily, and you make it a part of your unconscious being. You make it a part of your unconscious being, and you drill it in your unconscious being, not it being something that is of the conscious mind, something that is of the unconscious mind. So it starts to become just like walking. You see, consciously, you don't have to think about walking to the mailbox. You know, the only way to get your mail is by walking. So subconsciously, you walk. You don't think about the steps. You don't think about how many steps it takes to get to the mailbox. You just do it. When you ride a bicycle, you subconsciously pedal the pedals. You know the bike doesn't move if you're not pedaling the pedals. You understand this. But when you bury personal development deep inside of your subconscious, when you bury it there, then all of a sudden things start to move a little differently because you can't erase it. You cannot erase it. You see, there's so many times in my life that I seriously wish that it's like, man, I needed to be on this scroll right now. I need to be on this scroll right now. I need to be on this scroll right now. But one thing that I do and understand fully without a shadow of a doubt is that when God wants you to receive a message, he gives it to you. I believe that unequivocally with a shadow of a doubt. When God wants you to receive a message, he gives it to you. And sometimes it comes in the form of a person. Sometimes it comes in the form of a video. Sometimes it comes in the form of a post. Sometimes it comes in the form of an email. Sometimes it comes in the form of a text. Sometimes it comes in the form of an inbox message. Sometimes it comes in the form of a voice drop. Sometimes it comes in the form of a direct mail piece. But the reality of it is that he knows where you are at all times. So there's going to be times that he's going to deliver a message to you that hits. And when it hits, you got to know that that message was for you. You got to look at the message and realize that wasn't by accident. You got to look at the message and say, you know what? He's right. You got to look at the message and say, man, there's work to be done. Because in order to be great at anything, you have to learn to master your emotions. I want you to think about a football player. I want you to think about a football player that's running a 2-minute drill that is literally down 6 points, 7 points, and one touchdown, they could win the game, and it's 2 minutes to go, and they're down by 6 points right now. If that quarterback does not master his emotions, he's going to throw an interception. If he does not master his emotions, because he's moving out of fear, he's moving a certain way. You see, we're all the quarterback of our own lives. And sometimes when we move out of fear, sometimes when we move off of past hurt, sometimes when we haven't resolved certain things that are in our blood, we throw a freaking interception. Did you get that? Is it clear enough for you? See, when we don't clear out certain things that are bothering us or have bothered us, and we don't realize why that has happened, we don't really realize why that has happened. We don't understand, why am I moving like this? Why did I react this way? Why am I reacting this way right now? How is this person hitting the hot button? How is that person hitting the hot button? What is it about what he or she is saying? What is it about what he or she is doing? What is it about the relationship that somebody is doing or saying? What is it about the boss that he or she is saying? What is it about the friend? What is it about them that he or she is saying? What is it about the neighbor? What is it that the neighbor did that he or she said? What is it about a quote unquote enemy that he or she said? What is it about that trigger that made me react this way, that made me feel this way? What am I carrying that I have not resolved that made me react this way? See, all those things are wrapped up in emotions. They're all wrapped up in emotions. And when we identify it, when we identify it and we say, man, this is why this happened. This is the unresolved thing. This is the reason why I move this way. You know, I could be transparent and tell people that, you know, a few years ago, my best friend growing up, all my freaking life, man, all my life, my best friend growing up, when my best friend growing up, when he got killed in broad daylight, in front of his daughter, and I saw this with my own eyes, even growing up how I grew up and seeing so many different things, by watching your best friend take their last breath, it changes you. It freaking changes you. I could tell you 48 hours later, something drastic happened in my life. 6 months after that, something else drastic happened in my life. And I realized while I was moving a certain way, literally not too long ago, trust. You know, when people do things that you grew up with them, and they were with you all the time, and then they took a life and they acted as if it wasn't that big of a deal, and they did it in front of a 3-year-old child, and you witness it yourself, you change. But then you have to also absorb at the same time what that wound has done and how it's created certain things in your world and why you might move a certain way. And I can tell you that that day not only changed my best friend's family's lineage and his whole lineage forever, it changed his best friend too. And I think sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, you know, we have to sit back and identify what are the emotions that make us carry what we carry? What are the reasons why we do certain things that we do? Because as we grow in life, we have to learn to master certain things. And when this is mastered, doors will open up that you didn't even know were there. Things will change that you didn't even know were possible. Because now you're absorbing certain things and you're speaking not based off of a reaction. You're responding not based upon your past. You're responding based upon facts. And you learn to lower your keel, identify your tone, identify some of the things that you're saying that could really pierce, people at a different level. I'm identifying this a lot more, and I'm paying very, very close attention to it. And because of it, I've hurt people that I'm sorry for hurting. More than one. There's 47 years on this planet. And when you've got 47 years on this planet and you know that verbally, you already have a gift through verbal communication, and that communication verbally can be used to lift up or it can be used to destroy. And when you use it to destroy, it's not cool, because you don't know what or who you might be destroying. When you use it to lift, you don't know what or who you're using it to lift. But one thing's for sure, and two things are for certain. When you use it to lift, when you use it to lift, the positive reinforcement that comes back is life-changing. The best way to be great is to serve. Every person that you know that's great, every person that you know that's powerful in some sort of right, is coming from a place of service. And if there's a gift that you have that you can help service, you put that gift out there. I have a gift of verbal communication. And sometimes that gift is used in the wrong manner. And I'm doing everything in my power to eliminate it from being used in the wrong manner. Because I know that that gift can affect people so much more in a positive way. And when you're transparent with yourself, when you understand this, it's a whole different thing. And I'm going to end it with this. I am in no way doing this video just to be doing it. You know, a lot of people will go through training sometimes and say that training is for me. And sometimes that training is also for the person that's delivering it. So it can take that reinforcement and lock those things down in a subconscious way to know where your gift is and how you use it in the most positive way to affect people in a positive way. So with that, if you got something from this video, let me know in the comment section. I really, truly appreciate you guys. You guys absolutely rock. If you feel like this video can help somebody, hit the share button. I would greatly appreciate it. I know that you could have been anywhere in the world and you chose to spend the last 35, 40 minutes with me. Listen to me talk about the greatest secret in the world, which can definitely change your life. With that being said, we'll see you guys on the next video. Have a great day with Chess On.